a little bit of a different system than we had before, a similar kind of a tool, but this one has, this is the development, and then you put render and you can see what the HTML is going to look like. So what we have here, I'm going to show you how to use jQuery to sort elements. So we have a list of names that are not alphabetized, they're just popular names from around the world, and I can add them, and the new ones just go on to the bottom. And I have it capitalizing, so Gerald, it goes on capitalized. So I can click this to sort names, and I'll show you how that works. Obviously, I would like to, you know, have the name show up sorted and inserted sorted. You know, instead of at the end and have to click sort, that's ridiculous, right? But I say that so I could explain the code while I made a simple change. Okay, so here we have the HTML that we were just looking at the page initially before I clicked any of the links, and here we have the JavaScript. Alright, this was original from the sample, and there is no document like that, so that actually isn't important. Okay, we have a handle key press function so that I can hit return in that input box. We have a capitalize function so I can capitalize the words. And we have the ones I'm really here to show, which is sort names and new name. Alright, sort names, as you can see over in the HTML, we have this href, this for this anchor, for the link. We put the href as JavaScript void 0. That tells it not to actually do the regular thing it uses with an href, and you can override that with the JavaScript function in the onClick, which we did sort names. So that means when this is clicked, instead of trying to go to some web page, it'll run this JavaScript program function, which is defined over here. So the way this works is first I get all the li elements, these elements over here. Now notice, because I get all the li elements, if there was another list somewhere else, it would get confused. I can show you that problem in a second if it seems like there's time. Alright, then there is a sort function that I can use. This sort function I think is actually might be built into JavaScript, but it doesn't matter because what I've done is made a jQuery. So this is a jQuery sort. You get to give it a function, and I had to give it a function because it would normally, I think, sort by value, or I forget what, but I have to make a little function where it's going to give two items from my list, and then I compare them. So I compare them by taking the first element and turning it into a jQuery object and getting the HTML. Same with the b value. Then I just compare the values and I return what this function is supposed to return. I say that's supposed to return 1, -1 otherwise, or if they equal 0. Said that out of order, but perhaps you get that. And by the way, there will be the link to this where you can actually go look at it and use the code if you want directly. This is a little neater app than the last one. Alright, then I get the UL, which is here. Again, if there were two ULs, this would get the first one. So I'll show you it break a little, I think, at the end. I empty the UL and I append the new sorted version. That's how it's sorted. The function new name gets the value of new name from that input. You can see over here, here's an input. It's just safest to make the ID and the name, but the name doesn't really matter because it's not in a form. You don't have to put it in a form. Call it new name. Oops. In the ID, and so that's why it's # new name here, dot the value. It's not HTML because it's not between tags, it's the value of an input. Then I set the value to nothing to clear the box. I take the new name string and I capitalize it just in case. This helps it sort as well as all look capitalized. I make a new some new ML for the line item, which of course is just surrounding it by a line item tag. And then I make a jQuery object out of that. So the thing I didn't say before is you can have the pound new name or the dot of a class name or something. You can also just put some HTML in there, and it turns it into a jQuery object, which is ready to append to pound name list. See, I could have used UL here, but I used pound name list. That is resilient to if there's more than one UL element on that page. Okay, so what we'll do is at the end of this is the code over here is the code that runs on load. So it goes up in here somewhere. It goes here, I guess. Or no, that's the top jQuery one. Anyway, they inserted into this HTML somehow. Okay, so it runs on load, so I'll just do sort names here. Right, so when I render this, it is sorted when it comes up. But notice if I do the new names, it is still putting them at the bottom. So to do fix that, obviously in the new name function, I will call sort names. Now they go in place. Oh, now I'm just playing around with it. Ha, sorry. So let me do this breaking it sort of thing because of the errors I left in there. Okay, a couple errors. First of all, let's say there were more line items. Let's say there was another UL on this page. Right? So these are the two problems that I use UL and LI. Those are tag names. I should use IDs. Okay? But I don't want to ID all these line items or make them in a class because that would be a pain. So I'll show us a way to get into that. So let me just add another unordered list here. And what you'll see, if I make another second. Right, and it's going to, because of the way I remove and add stuff, this list is going to stay the same down at the bottom. But up at the top, it's going to get these names. France, Asia, and Earth in the name list. That's my prediction. So let's go. So if I sort it, yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Oh yeah, it did it for both of them. Maybe it even got the second one first. So let's see what I go in Alfred. Look, it keeps doubling these lists too because it's grabbing all the lists together. So it screwed up even more horrendously than I thought, in an even different way. So the way we would solve that is here. First of all, we will make this pound name list, which is the ID of the list in question. That way it will ignore the other list. Oh, that's right, I see the problem. The extra problem. Okay, see, France and what showed up there. We still have this problem because of this line item is all the line items, so it grabbed those line items, put them up there. That was the problem I was originally talking about, but it had the other problem because of the way it was grabbing the UL. So what we could do here is change this around. We will start with the parent name list that we want. And then you can create a second version of the string, so it'll find all the LIs in that guy. Now this should work. So yep, France didn't get up there when I go Alfred. It just goes on the top list. So that's why you don't really want to use the tag things. you should always pretty much be using classes and IDs. And so that's how that works. And yeah, I'll put the link to this latest version. You can see it right here, but I'll put it down below as well. Alright, thanks. One quick little thing more, since it's jQuery, I figured after the fact I'd add a little animation, so when you add the name it zooms out and back in. So yep. Didn't like that. Oh, because I added empty ones. jQuery doesn't work quite as well in this little system. Oops, see, like it hicked though. Okay.